This is Radio TV Phono Nut, and we have a 25-inch Zenith console color TV that a friend asked me to fix for him. I think it belongs to his lady friend, and it went out, and he was going to buy her a flat screen, and she said, no, I don't want a flat screen, I want my TV fixed. Well, this looks to be one of those crappy 1990s Zeniths that the picture tubes always go bad in, and what usually happens is either the picture tube goes weak or the picture tube intermittently arcs and blows out the voltage regulator and other parts in the power supply, and you can replace those parts, and it might run for 2 minutes, 2 hours, 2 days, 2 weeks, or 2 months, but the tube will arc again, and then of course it will blow out your new power supply parts. Sometime around 99, I think they got away from the crappy Zenith tubes and started using either a Phillips tube or a Thompson RCA tube with a bonded yoke. Now those tubes are decent. I actually know where a couple of those sets are from the early 2000s, and they're still working fine and still have good pictures, and I really hope that's what's in this one, because if this has the crappy Zenith tube in it, then it's probably going to be toast and probably not going to be worth messing with. Alright, let's put power to it and see what happens. Now when you plug these in, and if the switch mode power supply is working, you'll hear it chirp, so bear with me while I put the camera down and we'll plug this in and see what it does. Alright, I did not hear a chirp. Now I heard a little something whenever I pressed the power button, but no, okay, we got a little high voltage. Something happened, but I did not hear the usual chirp whenever I plugged it in. Yeah, we definitely had a little momentary high voltage action there. Okay, this set was made in July 2000, so this should be new enough that it has the decent picture tube in it, so that makes me feel a lot better. This is just a basic 25-inch console with stereo sound, and it has the AV input jacks and audio output jacks here, and of course your RF input. Alright, let's go get the 1/4-inch nut driver and pull the back, and you'll be in for a shock, I can tell you. And this is the shocking part. Great big cabinet, little bitty chassis in the bottom, picture tube, and that's it. It's quite a departure from the older repair videos that me and some others have posted, where the whole chassis takes up the entire cabinet of the television. And yes, this does have the good Phillips picture tube, so this one should be okay. And yeah, 2000, that's kind of towards the end of console TV production. I think Zenith was the last company to make a console TV, and I think their last one was in 2004. Okay, think we found the problem. The capacitor that goes here, it's 100 microfarad, 25 volt, and it's a common failure on these sets. You can see on the meter we're only reading 56 microfarads, so that capacitor needs to go. And the thermistor for the automatic degaussing circuit is broken loose, so I'm going to have to find one of those or either repair the one that's in there. Yeah, basically what you need to know on this type of power supply, if you happen to work on one of these Zenith sets, is when you plug it in, it should chirp. If it doesn't chirp, then that means the power supply is not working, and it's usually that capacitor that often fails on this chassis. And the symptoms is either intermittent or no startup, or partial startup or no attempt to start up at all. Now if you run into one of these sets with this type of power supply and all it does is constantly squeal, then you have a short somewhere, and it's usually the horizontal output transistor that's shorted. And Zenith used this basic power supply from about 1987, somewhere around in there, up until the end, early to mid 2000s maybe. Alright, let me go find a 100 microfarad capacitor and see if that'll get this thing fired. I dug around and found one old chassis out of a modern black plastic crap TV and salvaged a thermistor off of it. It's not exactly like the one that came off of it, obviously, but it should work. You know, there was a time I had hundreds of old circuit boards that I salvaged out of newer TVs, but once I pretty much stopped working on those, I tossed and got rid of most of the circuit boards. Alright, let's put it back together and see if it works, does nothing at all, or blows up. Let's see. Once again, we'll apply power and see what happens. Alright, we're plugged in. And there it is. Let's go get a converter box and antenna, shall we?
She was very skilled.
Alright, there we go. Looks pretty good.
Take care of your crew, Captain. I'm coming to catch you.
So it ought to be good for a few more years, I hope. Alright, there you go. The Zenith 25-inch console TV from 2000. All fixed up, ready to go home. It's a simple repair. Just needed a degaussing thermistor and a capacitor in the power supply.
We picked up